Okay, so what we can see right here is this morning when I was posting this poster, a friend of mine asking me why is it opportunities. All right, I have this Dr. Fauci on the top right corner, where Michael Burry on the right side. Then we have Tom Lee on the other side. All right, actually they are all involved in the sharing of today. All right, so that's why I brought them in. Okay, so of course also have this picture at the back. I think you recognize this. They're all in the PET shirt itself, and this is whereby the suit. Sorry. And this is what's happening in China right now. It's not going fine in China. So that's why you do see there's some bit of profit taking in the Chinese stock market. Okay, so are the bulls going to win? Now, I think this is a question actually. Because now obviously people have been asking, say, hey, market is very strong and it's a buy now, and is it time to basically get the bears off? So this morning we saw a very important statement from Michael Burry. Apparently he exited his position against ARK Innovation. Yeah, he exited. That means that he's no longer shorting ARK Innovation. So that means that the bears have lost, right? But actually, if you look at his buying, right, a bit of question mark here itself. So later on, when we talk about his segment, right, pay attention to detail, because he did actually stop his shorts on ARK Innovation, but he bought some stocks, and the name of the stock that he bought, right, is a little bit concerning. All right, so that's why later on listen to that part. Then of course, but Tom Lee, as usual, very bullish. He still thinks that the market is going to go through the roof, and we see what his reason. All right, so let's enjoy today's MAO. All right, so same thing again, disclaimer as usual. We need to understand that my job is to share with you information. Your job is to do what you need to do. All right, okay, all right, do what you do. Okay. Okay, so disclaimer done. Now, apology, I couldn't find a better, sharper picture for this. I tried to find the source. Apparently, the source is not able to give me the preferred picture, but I think you can roughly get the idea, right? Who raised the price of gas? So you can see government point speculator point environmentalist, then they point the OPEC, then the demand point both of them. Big oil is the big boys, all right? So this is how it goes. Again, the market is always like that. It's always from demand and supply. Then, of course, some organization. Then, obviously, some of the parties' involvement. Then, of course, speculators, governments, and obviously the big boys. So this is how it goes around them for oil. And of course, why purposely talk about oil? Now, I've not covered oil for some time already, and I've been very bullish on oil. I've been telling you this. And my view is that crude oil could go much higher in the next 5 months. I repeat, I believe that the next 5 months, which is now November, December, January, February, March, I believe that the next 5 months, right, crude oil can go much higher. And of course, what will happen naturally? Well, two things will happen. First of all, probably stock market may go even higher because crude oil and Dow Jones usually move in tandem in a way. But of course, if the crude oil price keep on going higher, meaning energy price go higher, inflation goes higher, hence, therefore, there's a chance that gold price may also follow suit in the later part. So that is why I want to share with you about crude oil. And of course, will that eventually bring the bull down? Yes. Eventually, it will drag the bull market down. So that's the reason why I want to share this with you, okay? So you can see that on the energy market, we see a series of crunches as demand grows. Oil expert Dan says, all right. So apparently this guy from IHS Markit, all right, says that because more companies are pressured to cut investment into traditional energy production, and this is causing a bit of demand and supply issue. So we can see that in the monthly oil market report, OPEC says the global oil demand reaching 100.6 million barrels per day. Oh my God, 100.6 million barrels per day. Okay, that's really very high level, all right? So the thing is this, with so much demand in the market right now, obviously we are going to reopen our economy. So I believe that there'll be a sudden crunch demand on energy. I believe that will happen. And because of that, it's all right. There could be a sudden spike in inflation, okay? So that's the reason why in fundamental, I believe that crude oil price might be surging higher, all right? Now, this is my personal chart that I have drawn basing what I know. Now, I traded this market when I, much younger days, whereby, I know how crude oil basically went up to about $80. Then after that, it came back down. and it came down to about $50, about $51, $52. That was what happened in 2007. And in 2007, that was where you can see for the crude oil prices, it went all the way up itself, okay, to $147, right? And the movement was just within a 1.5 year duration. And of course, you can see that the volume itself was really incredible. Okay, the volume was simply incredible, right? So after that, you can see it was a very clear pump and dump exercise because it was going up every day like $3, $5, $3, $5 every day was going up in this level. Then of course we hit 147. Why? Because everybody say it will hit 150 to even 175 and even 200. So everybody, when they say tell you this will hit that, right? We all know that usually it doesn't work that way, right? And of course, what happened to the crude oil price? After that, it tumbles all the way down, okay? All the way down, and it broke 52. That was very crazy. It went down all the way to about 32 level, okay? 32 level, okay? So that was what happened to crude oil price. So then, okay? So this is what happened back in 2007, 2008, 2009, okay? So that was what happened, yeah? So then after that, now we fast forward the tape. So now what we see is that we saw the time when the pandemic happened, the crude oil price burst down and went to negative, remember? Yeah. So this is a one isolated case. So not really the thing to really focus on. But you can see that the 33 level, you can see that, right? Every time crude oil hit 33 level, right? Whether back in 2009, or 2016 or 2020, okay, we at 33. Every time it hits there, the market will rebound. So next time, remember this: if every one time crude oil price do come back down to $30 to $33, that means that that's a good time for you to buy crude oil. Okay, yeah, okay. Huh? Okay, all right. Then after that, you can see that at the last time in 2016, after it hit $33 area, right, it rebounded and it went all the way up to about $77 here again. And that is where it stopped, and that was where it came down, right? So it came back up again, and almost at $77 again, it came back down before this time around it burst past the line. Okay, so you got an idea now? Okay, now what do I see from here? So it means that, right, it seems that gold, crude oil, right, you can see that this range itself, the last 10 over years, this 33.77 range is a very interesting range. So the difference between them is about $44. Now, being a TA guy, I mean, I see such a phenomenon. I know that if we take the same number 44 and add in to 77, you get a number. So the number is 121. 121. So mathematically speaking, I would say this. Now crude oil price is trading at about $81, example 81. The $77 is a base level. So which means that if I were to buy crude oil today at 81, technically speaking, I must have a buffer of at least $4, yeah, $4 US of crude oil, because that is $77 a base level. Then in exchange, I aim for probably from $81 here, okay, from 81 now, where we are now, 81, to aim all the way to 121. So that is giving you about another $30+ right? About $40, yeah, $40 run. Now that's a lot of money, guys, a lot of money. $40, if you buy a single contract itself, right, it can be as much as, making a profit of $4,000 US, or you can even do a full contract size, it may be a 40K, right, in the market. So that's why I believe that this should be happening, right? Because inflation is going to come, and there's no way, because Federal Reserve will tell you they won't hike rate until next year. So which means from going from now till then, the crude oil price will have to go higher and higher just to meet the demand. And of course, if the whole world start to recover and then economy recover, travel increase, there will be a huge demand for energy prices. Yes, that's the reason why, to me, it's all right. There's a very, very high chance that we could see the crude oil price hitting 121 by this March itself. Okay, all clear on this? If everybody clear, please key the word crude 121. Okay, crude, yeah. Key the word crude 121, yeah. So that everybody can remember that I share this. Crude 121 by March 2022. All right, so that's just crude oil 121. Now, of course, by giving such a big call, is it really that it will happen or not? I mean, no one can predict the future. I'm just sharing with you my personal view. And of course, you should know my macro view usually are pretty decent. All right, not say fantastic, but decent, decent enough. All right, so if you can capitalize this move itself, right, the next five months, then you know what to do as we travel along the direction of this crude oil. All right. Okay, so if that is if you guys have accepted that, that means that cool. Let's just continue from here. So today, because this morning there was some problem in my PowerPoint, I didn't have time to do my charting, so I just skip this area. But in terms of Hang Seng, I say, guys, we are doing pretty well today. We have again another good wins. So we want to open the office and let all of you guys bring your friends in. Yeah, we're supposed to give you details, but because we've been very busy, so kind of like delayed. Yeah, but I'll let you know more in details. Okay, so you can see around here itself. But today we have the core retail sales. Today, very important figure, the core retail sales. If the retail sales are good, of course, the stock market will trade even higher. Now, if the market doesn't do that well, then of course, the retail sales are not very good, right? We know that again, the market will still buy because they'll say that, okay, that means we are correct. You put in more money into the system. So regardless, whichever they choose, right, end of the day, you're just going to bring up inflation higher. So that is why, to me, it's this number, in my opinion, is not that important unless they will use it as a catalyst to take some profit. But of course, we've seen this retail sale went negative before. Did the market react? Well, we know that it didn't, yeah? All right, so last night the Dow Jones was pretty okay. It was up by 100 points and it was there for about nearly 2 hours. Then suddenly there was some selling in the market, just tumbled down. And then it went sideways for the longest of time. It did profit take by another 50 points, but before that, the market closed up to close near the opening price. Now, do note today, right, apparently Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P 500, Hang Seng, 4 of the biggest market itself, right, all of them is at a doji formation, doji, D-O-J-I. Now, doji means that the opening price and the closing price is at the same level, and as compared to the entire week. All right, and my way of calculating doji is that rather than visual, my way is that the body, if the size of the body is 20% and lesser of entire week, to me, that's a doji. So apparently, right, we have 3-4 markets now, all doji at the same time. What does it tell me? Well, usually when you see dojis like that, it's a big reset. I repeat, it's called a big reset. Now, this is my personal calling, the big reset. Yeah. So what does it mean then? That means that, right, moving forward, right, either the US market will go through the roof or there'll be a bit of selling. So usually a big reset will be either a 1,000 point upside or a 1,000 point downside. Yeah, that means that for the Dow Jones, I'm going to see a 1,000 point either an upside or 1,000 point downside in the near term already. Okay, so that is why I say it could be a big reset for the entire market itself, because it's not usual to see so many dojis lining up together, and definitely, in my opinion, it's orchestrated and it's ready to go into a big movement. Yeah. So we'll talk about this later when we do the charting point. And of course, prior to that, we look at some of the experts and what they have to say. Now, the stocks basically closed flat to start the week ahead of the big retail sales earning, like I told you just now. So I don't think it's a big retail earning. So the Dow Jones eventually closed 12 points lower. And of course, tech shares like Nasdaq eventually also closed flat. Yep, the yield went up to 1.6% and the 30-year touched 2%. All right, let's bring the yield in. Let's take a look at a short one. Okay, this is the oil chart that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to skip this. Let's look at the yield first. Now you look at the yield. Okay, look at the yield price. Okay, guys, the yield has been going higher. Yeah, it has been going higher. Now it was basically, wait a minute, this stage quickly chart on. Okay, so the yield was at 1.7, and that was where I told you it will go to 1.8. But I told you also that at the same time, we would likely see a bit of profit taking. Now, why do I say that? Because I mentioned to you, right, the Federal Reserve is still going to pump in a lot of money into the system. So when they pump in the money in the system itself, right, that will pull the yield down. All right. And the RSI also confirms it, a double confirmation. But there's something you must understand. I told you before, The moving average 50 has been a very interesting darling for the yield. So when the market came back down, reached this area here, I share with some of you that the yield will likely stop here. And truth be told, it did that. Right, the market did break below the MA50 for a short moment. Then almost instantly it rebounded already, right? So now I'm quite confident to say that it will challenge the 1.7, and this time round there should be room to go for 1.8%. And then again, it may be pulled back again. So it's always being like manipulated, right? But you cannot deny that the chart itself is showing you upside towards 1.8 already. Yeah, so we cannot run from here. Okay. So with that itself, right, what do we expect to see? Well, basically, when the market is coming off, when the market comes off and there's inflation worry itself, definitely, you know, the yield will share. And of course, we know that the workers, the employment data also expressed concern. The consumer price index went up. The consumer sentiment went down. So these are the classic bearish recession features. But the market is not reacting, as we can see, or is it going to react because it's a doji, right? That means the market, is it ready to go for the bigger movement? So later on during the charting part, please take note of what I have to share with you. So first of all, let's do a quick recap of what happened yesterday. Okay, the Dow Jones, first of all, opens, actually was opening price was above the pivot 1. So by right, above pivot 1, above OP is a buy, and the KSI was green in color, but it was down tick. So it will still go up, but the upside will be limited. The upside will be limited. And truth be told, the market did went up, but after that U-turn come back down. Now, what is most important is that look at the way it stopped there. MLP was at 36,042. The market hit the low of 36,029 and then rebounded back to 3600 again. So the MLP shows its impact and why a lot of us are using MLP now as a gauge, right? Many students are using it as a gauge. So you see for yourself, the Dow Jones came down first. It break below pivot 1, so it came down. We understand that. But what happened is that it misses the MLP just by a fraction, and then the KSI jump kick in. So KSI jump kick in means that the buyer comes in, and of course, when the market goes above P1 and of course go above OP, it will be a very strong buy, and the market goes all the way up. But of course, even though it looks like it's like a big movement up, but actually it's not even near a KTR. Yesterday, the market did not hit KTR +1. It did not hit KTR -1. So what does it tell me then? When the market can't even go to the KTR, right, this basically speaks volume that you have to be very careful, because when the market don't hit KTR +1 or -1, usually means that the market itself is like, you know, going to go into big movement soon, right? We have said this many times before. Whenever the market don't hit the KTR +1 or hit the KTR -1 on the same day, usually the next day itself going to see a pretty big movement. So I cannot believe that today or tomorrow the Dow Jones will go into big movement. Yeah, so you have to listen and take note. Now, of course, we have the gold yesterday. Gold was up yesterday initially. Then the KSI was green, but it was a down tick, but there's no blue bar at the bottom. So what actually happened was the gold actually went up a little bit more. Now, the day before the KSI, the gold was a doji. So we do expect it to stay up, but instead the market chose down. Yeah, it chose down, it came down, and it again tested the MLP, but this time around it broke below MLP. Only towards the end, it rejected and recovered. So let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. You'll see better on your screen right now. Okay, so from the screen, you can see pretty clear that the gold price is still going higher. It came down first, okay? And then the amazing part is this. When it stopped there, it's all right. Look at it. Actually, this is day BNB. It's a BNB, and it happened to be the day low of the day. My God. So you have the KSI jump earlier. You have the BNB coming in, you have the low of the day, and you have the KSI green. You have no blue bars at the bottom. That was all the information you need as a trader to know that it's a buy. So guys, you see, we have already streamlined for you the system so well that next time you just have to see if all these things are aligned itself, right? You should know that the probability of the market hitting a target is going to be high. And next time when the crazy app is ready, rather than you look at the market and then observe, you can just key, select whichever you like, whichever pattern you like, whichever setup you like, and let the computer do it for you. You understand? This is going to be very fun. Yeah, that is the reason why we're going to spend all our time into this. Yeah. So after that, the gold price went higher, as you can see, and hit OP. Then that's where we know that's where I believe that some of you realize that, right? Yeah. And then after that, the market came down to do some profit taking, but because it's now basically highly supported by KTR -1, it tries to go up again. Yeah. So it's a pretty interesting day for gold, but same thing for gold yesterday. It hit KTR -1, but it did not hit KTR +1, but it's still good enough because of the down day overall. All right, so let's look at some important global news right now. Important. China fights biggest Delta outbreak as cases grow in the city of Dalian. So apparently, Chinese authorities says 32 new domestically transmitted infection. Now, my point is this, AKA, my very, very honest opinion. Singapore easily 1,000. So Dalian, I think, is bigger than Singapore, and yet 32, question mark. Okay, I cannot buy these numbers. Honestly, I can't buy this number. Yeah, 32 newly domestically transmitted infection domestically. Now, do you understand this? They are not even wearing masks already in China, and yet 32. Then we in Singapore all put on masks, 1,000. So sometime in life, right, I just had to smile. So anyway, now China marked its most widespread Delta outbreak, which has affected 21 provinces, regions, and municipalities. All right. So what is happening right now is that China is a concern. Of course, if China again has anything happening, that's a big problem. And of course, we are also technically approaching the winter season. And don't forget, this next year, 2022, the Chinese New Year is 1st of February. So all these doesn't point well, because imagine again, we have a repercussion of people falling sick or transmitting the virus during the Chinese New Year. This is going to be a big headache for all the countries in the world, because so many people come from China, right, in a way. So if they go back to China to celebrate Chinese New Year, and then can they come back out again, this is going to create a lot of problem for a lot of people. So this is something that you must think about that. Now, Dr. Fauci simultaneously came out and says that COVID cases are starting to climb in some areas of US. So now the US 7-day moving average is now at 82,000 cases. Oh my goodness, 82,000 cases. My goodness. Okay, and this is a 7-day average, so not weekly average. It's a daily average, 82,000. Of course, at the peak itself is 150, 300. Yeah, that's a peak. But we're talking about they already get vaccinated, right? Okay, isn't that supposed to be, helping it? So this is something that's having a problem right now. And of course, this is whereby we are having into the winter period yet. We're not in the summer period at the moment now. So it's a bit of disconcerting, and that's why Dr. Fauci said that we need to be very careful. And of course, back then itself, in just 1-2 months ago, it hit 172,000 cases. Now, of course, it's flattened down to 70,000 cases to 80,000 cases. It's not that a lot. But in terms of absolute figure, it's still a lot. It's like putting 2 stadiums of people falling sick at the same time. Okay? All right. So, of course, the average itself, you can see in Midwest and Northeast are all the cases coming up. So, not too sure why is it happening, but it is happening. So, with all these things right now, right, the question mark is it still a good time to buy into the stock market? So, let me bring you 3 different persons. Okay. Michael Burry ditches short bet on Cathie Wood's UP ETF, added this long position. Now, of course, straight away when I see this, okay, Michael Burry is no longer, too concerned, yeah, no, not too concerned for this anymore. So with that itself, right? Hold on a minute, huh? Hold on a minute, something wrong. Wait, something wrong. Side here, so. Okay, so Michael Burry now is saying that, right, he ditches it, and then he added some long position. So technically, it looks like he's going long in the market, right? But when I look at his counter, right, I post my question mark already. Take a look, guys. Now, the guy called the big short investor, Michael Burry, exited his short bet on ARK Innovation ETF in the 3rd quarter, but building a couple of long positions, including Lockheed Martin. All right, anyone know what does Lockheed Martin do? Right, I let you ask, let you try it out. What do you know about Lockheed Martin? Do you know that what do they do? Anyone to share with me? Yes, I heard that. Someone has already given me an answer in the office already. Right, let's see anyone online. Yes, weapons, war equipment, exactly my point. Yeah, weapons, war equipment, military supplier. Is it exactly Lockheed? Yeah, it's military. So the question is why? Okay, why? So I go to do I read up a bit more lah. Okay, so first of all, the filing shows that he's dumped all his put contracts on Tesla. Okay, we know that. Very fortunately, he dumped it before Tesla shoot up. Okay, so maybe he has some idea that the Tesla should be very good, right? That's why he got out before it shoot up. All right, so his timing itself is pretty decent. I'll tell you that. All right, then after that, after that he can see that he closed his short bet on Cathie Wood's ETF. Now Cathie Wood ETF, right? Let's bring in the picture in. Hold on, just give me a moment. Let's bring it in. So we bring the Cathie Wood in the picture. Up innovation. Okay, can you see this? Now, I mean, basically, we all know roughly on the rough idea, he shorted somewhere around here, this area here, and some were here, right back then. So now, if we close off the position here itself, right, you can see that it's about the same, right? Nothing much, I mean that he may not lose much, or he don't make much from what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, based on what you're seeing on the chart here. So the question mark is then what? Why? I mean, it's not lack of money, cannot be because of repositioning, right? So I basically couldn't find much detail, and then after that you can read further. Now you can see that right in his last portfolio rearrangement on 13F, he bought some CVS, right? Lockheed Martin is a new one. You can see he bought it new. Okay, bought about 10 million, so not a lot, but still he bought them. The question about why. After that, he went into to buy this Now Incorporate. I don't know which these two companies do what. Tomorrow I'll cover a bit more. Yeah, just this is the SEC filing. Okay, but again, doesn't mean that he closed his put position. Doesn't mean he cannot short, right? Because do understand this. The investor could be betting against the names via short selling, short buyer directly, or via counter option contract that doesn't require disclosure to the SEC. Yes. Sometimes itself, some boys, they don't want to show their hands. You see, they can actually do the over-the-counter options contract, and that basically they don't need to talk to SEC lah. So of course, that is one thing that they do on a regular basis. Okay, so now he also bought into the CVS. Okay, CVS. Anybody can tell me what does CVS do? Can anyone tell me CVS? What does it do? Yeah, let me bring it into CVS to you. Can you see that now? It's health. Can you see that? Health. Yeah. So obviously, he got it in, and of course, the last few days, the counter did very well for CVS. If you look at it, right, this counter has been going up like a darling. I can make it smaller a little bit. Yeah, let's see the entire flow of this. Now you can see that this counter, the high back then was in 2015, about 113. Today itself, right, is about 193. So judging from the chart itself, right, I kind of believe that we can see sooner or later, in my opinion itself, right, we should be able to see 106 level. Yeah, 106 level, in my opinion. So that is how I see it. Yes, indeed, correct. It's a drugs. It's a pharmaceutical. It's a health corporation. Jimmy and Eric, you guys are very fast, huh? Yeah, correct. So you can see one clear part is that every time when the RSI hits 30, right, it is a bottom for this counter. It hits 30 again, it bottomed out very nicely. And the last time it hit this again, the market bottomed out very nicely. So that's why this counter, we can see is a very strong controlled counter. I'll put it this way, a controlled counter. So I believe that, right, anytime it pulls back later on again, maybe you hit the MA30 because MA50, because you look at the chart, yeah, you see, when I make the chart a bit bigger, okay, you can see, right, every time the market, if it goes, you notice something interesting, every time when it breaks up, right, when it goes back down, it will always purposely touch the MA50. Go up again, touch again. Go up again, touch again. Go up again, all the way, touch again. Yeah? So it seems like this MA30 is like a darling to it. So I'm not half surprised now if it ever come down and it hit the MA50, sorry, it'll be a good buy. So watch out for the MA50. Yeah? If it touches it, you can consider doing that already. Okay, Eric, I just shared with us that this is actually a counter that many outlets like across like our Guardian and Watson. Oh, okay, thank you. CVS, yeah, familiar name, that's why. Okay, thank you, Eric. So think about this. Do you know that, right? We all know that do you all know who is actually the biggest farmland owner right now? The biggest farmland owner. I think I should know, right? Who is the biggest farmland owner? Okay. Yeah, so biggest farmland owner. All right. Now, right, you can see that this is Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates' name will pop up, right? Exactly. Now, do you know that Bill Gates itself in 2021, then the market had to talk about he is the biggest owner. But do you know that actually when I was looking through this Michael Burry's history, right? Michael Burry, take a look, I'll show you. Michael Burry farmland. You can do this now. You know that Michael Burry itself, right? Actually, he invested farmland quite early in 2018. In 2018, Michael Burry already started to buy. And you look carefully, right? He even bought it even earlier in 2010. In 2010, Michael Burry already been collecting all the farmlands in the world. So I don't know whether if he sell it to Bill Gates, but you can see Michael Burry, it's not because of the 2008 Lehman crisis, he make money now. Overall itself, right, his overall performance have been quite interesting, as I said. Yeah, been quite interesting. So why I want to bring it in? Because, right, well, he seemed to have the knack of the eye to actually see things that not we can see. So why would you want to do CVS, health concern? Why do you want to do Lockheed, right? Obviously, military concern. So I haven't checked now and this Shift Nexus, I don't know what they do. But my point is that this tool itself, right, for health and weaponry counter, right, already give me my question mark already. So with energy prices, I told you about the energy prices, right? Maybe we can have a bit of understanding here itself, right? Because there's one thing you must understand, guys. Okay, Joe Biden, his what they call approval rating has been going down all the way, especially the recent one when they exited from Afghanistan, right? So his approval rating has been going down. And you know, in US history, there's always one thing the president will do whenever their rating is down. What do they do? Do you remember that? There's only one thing they do. Whenever their rating is down, right, they'll do one thing and you know what is that. Let me know whether you don't answer, right? Write it down, right? Okay. They will do something very interesting. And this is like a SOP I had. Okay. What do you think is the answer, guys? What do you think is the answer? Why? What do you think will be the answer? Okay, all right. We have some answers right now from Eric. Okay, I will not give you my answer. I think that you will probably have read my mind. Yes, indeed, it's all right. Something interesting, yeah? Yes, because that is when you're going to charge people. You see, one of the things is that when you are being disliked by people, right, or people don't approve on you, you have to make people feel good. And of course, America is a redneck society itself, right, in my opinion. Hence, therefore, they really, really want to feel good about it. So you look carefully itself, right? Yeah, that will happen. And for Democrats, right, it's like that typical SOP law. Yeah, so only one Eric actually replied. Is Eric correct or wrong? All right, in my opinion, Eric is correct. So that is the reason why I kind of believe that something is going to be like, you know, on the books. Yeah. Okay, give me a minute. My PowerPoint is off again. Apology. Hold on. Okay, so Fundstrat. Okay, Fundstrat. Tom Lee. All right, explain why tech counters can support the market even as inflation rises. So again, Tom Lee is always different. Okay, whole world tell you that, right? Inflation coming in, technology company will be going down. But this guy say no. Let's see why he say no. Let's take a look. Now his reason is pretty simple. He says this. Okay, first of all, okay, he believes that it will create even more upside because of more people coming in. Now, we do know that we have the consumer price index as the highest level. That's why inflation is there. But he says that, right, because tech shares has a major weight in S&P 500, and it will remain pretty attractive to new investors. And of course, when people allocate themselves in equity, they would like to go into technology, which is true. The technology is the new business of the new century. Hence, therefore, right, valuation is no longer really that important, which is definitely one thing to take note of that. And now Tom Lee is still very optimistic with his Bitcoin forecast. He still thinks that Bitcoin will go to 100,000, and he's very clear that stock market will continue to rally. So you see that, right? He's still very bullish. And in fact itself, right, he felt that, right, there's still more room to go. So his recent forecast on the S&P, right, he forecast that the market will go to 5,000 for the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 now is at 4,692. So seriously, we are like, there's still some distance between now and then, but still he seems to be very confident in this. So let's just see whether how right is that be like by end of the day. But more important is, I said again to you guys, is that all we can say is he's definitely very, very bullish. So apparently a fundamental concern growing, this particular analyst of MKM says that, right, don't fight the tape, there's more upside. So another guy says that, okay, although there's a fundamental concern, but hey, don't worry, man, let's buy. So this guy actually is his name is O'Haro. Okay, he is saying that, right, okay, although there is a rising bond volatility, a dollar breakout of persistent commodity inflation, but the equity market seems bulletproof to the macro picture. Hence, therefore, no, there will be further upside according to him. Now, of course, at the same time, Morgan Stanley, remember, he called for a sell in the market, saying that there will be a 5% drop, but the market did not even bother by that, and the market continuously to trade higher, as you can see on the screen. So now they actually did this. They actually tell you now 2013, you look at the chart in 2013, you superimpose it to today's 2021. This seems to be telling you that, hey, don't worry, man, we have still got another 5%. So it's contrary to Morgan Stanley, Mike Wilson forecast. He is saying 5% drop, but this guy is saying, no, it's a 5% up. So which is which? So guys, let me ask you guys, right? There are about 43 of you right now, right? How do you think that we will see a 5% rally to the end of the year? If you think that it's a 5% up, then you keep up 5%. Now, if you think that no, actually it's wrong, it should be down 5%, then keep down 5%. All right, let me see your answer. Let's have 20 replies before I continue. 20, and that's 41 of you, right? I must see 20 replies before I continue, okay? Yeah, let's see how it goes, huh? Okay, I'll wait for your reply there and continue talking, okay? Okay, let's just see the verdict now. Okay, at 20, at least 20 now. Anthony, 5%, up. Anthony, up 5%. Richard, up 5%. Janet, up 5%. Eric, up 5%. Susan, up 5%. Elise, up. Brian, up. Johnny, up. Alex, up. Terry, up. Fred, Nancy, Noel, Edmund, Jonathan, Eugenio. So basically, everyone today all say up. Okay, wow, is that a herd mentality, or because TWB students all know what to do the next 1 month? Okay, all right, so today we have a classic one straight dragon. Everybody say up. Okay, all right, so I will leave it there. I will not comment. Okay, because you should know me very well itself, right? I already tell you guys, when everybody's on one side, I like to look to on the other side. But I cannot deny this itself, that yes, end of the year, the probability of the market trading higher is definitely there, because this is really unstoppable, because every year, every month, there's still so much money coming in the system, all right? So yes, indeed, undeniable, most likely we'll see another 5% upside for this year, yeah? But at this moment right now, I kind of say maybe just wait for a while first, okay? Especially today, we have a quadruple doji on Hang Seng, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, S&P. Maybe we're gonna go slower for these few days, yeah? But overall, yes, I still think that the market will be going up. So make sure you remember what you're saying. Okay, don't change my words around. Huh? Okay, so Santoli says that, right, this time around the rally may take a breather because there's some expiration on the option market. Let's take a look. Now, again, he showed you S&P chart itself and the moving average, the 10-day moving average this time around. So you see that every time the 10-day moving average apparently hits it nicely, it will basically push the market higher. So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that now we are just so far, we are so near to the all-time high. So that's why there should be a problem. But there's a heavy clustering of outstanding call option at 400 or 4,700 call. So what it's trying to say is this, right? There's a lot of people really predicting that the S&P 500 will definitely hit 4,700 level. And this is like not too far away. Now, this is the cash market S&P, yeah. So hold a minute, I'll bring it to you now. This one here. And this one, yeah. The S&P 500, this is the one, yeah. Here, this is the one. Now we are at 4682, cash market, 4682, yeah. So the 4,700 clustering itself is about 4,700 here. So we actually saw it, the S&P went up to 4,720, right? And after that, it pulls back down because the market had triggered it. So now the next run is trying to test again at 4,700. So that is the reason why they say that there's a heavy clustering of this option here. And of course, now we have the yields that's moving up at the moment. That may actually create even more uncertainty in the market. But still, the seasonal force explained that, right? Last 2 months of the year, sorry. Usually the market will be pretty good. And of course, the many seasonal pattern shows that the market will close up, right? So let's see the seasonal pattern. Everybody take a look. I prepared this for you. That's why I say today's MAO, you must listen, yeah? Okay, so you can see that from the chart here itself, this is the seasonal pattern for S&P 500 for the last 20 years. So again, you can see a few important things. Please kindly take a look, guys. Now, this is not Larry Williams' chart. This is someone else's one, okay? So there's a little bit different here, but you look carefully, guys. It shows that the first week of November, the market will rally. Then there'll be a pullback in between in November around there. Then in the mid of November, it will recover. And then probably by the second week to third week of November, the market will come down a bit before the rally goes all the way up to December. Okay, can understand where I'm coming from? Okay, so now let's just do the simple sharing. Let's just take a look here. So, okay, so we take the chart again. You know me, I like to do some things. I want you to, see for yourself. Then I tell you, right? Look it for yourself. Okay. So bring S&P in the picture. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. Make the chart a bit bigger. Okay. Let's take a look, guys. Okay. So you can see that. Okay. This is the starting point of November. Okay, so initially you can see on the chart, right? November, it says that the market will likely be, this is just a seasonal pattern, yeah? In November period, the market will rally all the way up first. So did it happen? Well, indeed, it really happened, right? So boom, okay? Then it says that it will come back down. And it come back down. Did it come back down? Interesting, it did, right? Yeah, indeed. Then after that, it will come back down, and then after it rally up. Not bad, right? It seems to be happening. You see my point now? And if you look at it on a justifiable ground, we're talking about really talking to it. This one is look like a bit of downtrend movement. That means that the high are lowering. So are we saying that this could happen soon? Are we going to see something like this whereby the market may be near about the high level at 4,700? I don't know. So if let's say we're going to see this, then logically speaking, we may even see this coming down to here, right? Just to formulate the chart accordingly. Of course, this is just only, I'm just trying to play around with it. So you look at it right now, right, at 4682. Now, 4682 is where we are right now. And let's say it go down to 4620. Let's say it go down to 4620, okay? Example, right? So 4682 is about 82 minus 20 is about 62 points. 62 points divided by 4682 is about only 1.3%. So it's nowhere near a 5% pull. So that means that if the market do ever come down to 4620, example, if it comes down, based on the seasonal pattern, then it could be a good buy to buy here itself. And then after that, you may want to formulate a base level and then enjoy this ride all the way to the end of December period. You understand where I'm coming from, right? So for those who say that the market is bullish and may go 5%, well, seemingly it might really happen. Yeah, seemingly it might really happen. So traders, you may want to take note of that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is something that you want to take note. Okay, all right. So that is where you guys are probably right on this point here. Okay, so he's saying that, right, because we have now crazy movement like the Rivian as $100 billion IPO now, and of course that created a lot of people going to do crypto, NFT, envelope pushing and stuff like that. And of course we are fairly, in a picture whereby that normally near the year end the market will recover a bit. Therefore, the first quarter usually that is where the market goes sideways. Yeah. So in terms of market breadth, it's pretty evenly mixed. And of course, the VIX is still hanging at 17 level, still hanging around there. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is the seasonal pattern that I want to share with you. So you guys can do your own thingy. To me itself, Doji directional day is as long as market stay above OP is a buy, below OP is a sell, right? We have talked about this before. So of course, the fear and greed index, we have it now. Interesting. The market has done some movement, but the index has hardly moved. So as of today, the index is at 82. Yesterday it was 83. So there's really not much movement in 82, 83, 86, ping-ponging around this area here itself. And in the chart wise, it's also nothing show much, but we can see that, right, there could be a possibility of some profit taking in the near term. I repeat, there could be some possibility of profit taking in the near term. So that's why I will say that, yeah, if it comes down and you believe that there'll be a 5% recovery or upside, right, then you must go for the long when the market pulls back. Yeah, something to take note of that. Okay, so we have that resolved. That we'll go to the chart today, and right now the bull goes smooth, the bear goes grrr, and the flamingo is different this time. Okay, quick one on the chart. Let's take a look. Okay. Now, first of all, today, wow, look at it, guys, with the Omega sign on our Hang Seng today. Now, Omega sign will only form when there's a flat bottom or flat top. And if it's going to be a flat bottom, right, then what can you do? You can only go long. So today itself, right, was a pretty clear day whereby you can only go long. So the market opening price was between the two pivots, but it was above MLP when it goes higher and above MA30. So the first target it should be going, it will be the pivot one. It's at 25,474, which also the market easily gave. And of course, when it crosses the pivot one, means that it's above OP, above pivot one. It's a classic trade, right? So that's why you see the Hang Seng continue to mount higher. Now let me show it to you. What have we done intraday? Okay, take a look intraday. We already know it's a Omega day already, right? So for the 5-minute chart, right, basically CCRY, this is red, this is yellow, so this is where you can buy. So first wave profit ready. CCRY, the second wave profit again. CCRY, third wave profit again. So that's the reason why I share with people. Don't short the market today for Hang Seng, because Hang Seng itself today is a classic trade. You shouldn't be shorting the Hang Seng. So imagine that, okay, Hang Seng today, you just have to do a CCRY, just go long in Hang Seng, you should be fine today. Because now it's a classic trade and it's an Omega day. So two reasons to buy Hang Seng are all there itself, and that's why Hang Seng today go all the way up. Yeah, so it's pretty simple, right? You just have to follow through the stuff that we share with you. Okay, so that is Hang Seng. Let's look at the China market first. China A50 this morning tries to recover. It was down initially below MLP, but interestingly, the market has been stopping at the big white candle, as if that this is like an imaginary support level right now. So now the China A50 seemingly want to test this point here. Yeah, they're going to test this point here. So, all right. So if it actually if it past this, we could actually see it trading higher to maybe about 15,800 area. Yeah, so traders just kindly take note of that. 15,800 area for this. Okay. Okay, so let's us now look back to the Hang Seng. Just now I missed to tell you that. Okay, so Hang Seng, as I told you, if it goes higher, Hang Seng will go where? If it goes higher, Hang Seng may even test this level, and this level is 25,776. Yeah, this number. Okay. Now just now Hang Seng, I told you guys, BNB is very powerful. So this is the BNB itself, right? Then this is the 1x1. Look at it. I already tell you guys, some of y'all during the last event, I say 3 days. 1, 2, 3. Of course, I was wrong in a way. But because this day technically not counted, this day itself, so the third day is actually today, and of course the market really hit the 1x1, right? So the range itself, you can see the range is about 500 points, and yet the market really rally up 500 points to hit that 1x1 target. So if you actually really believe in the 1x1, what you could have done is that you would buy some here, and then held it all the way to 1x1. Yeah. But of course, around the last 2 days, you will have a lot of pressure from your family saying, oh, boss, today is coming down. You shouldn't be taking so much risk and stuff like that. Yeah, this study will happen. Yeah. Okay. All right. So at least the BNB, you know. Okay. So now with BNB out of the picture already, right? So what's the next target? The next target I told you is 25,776 level, because that is the KCB level. Okay. So take note of that. Okay, Hang Seng is done, China is done. Let's look at the US market, a quick one now on US market. Now for the US market, you can see very clearly it's still undecided. It's actually hanging around at the OP level. So if the Dow Jones is to break MLP today at 120, then very easily it will go down to pivot 2. And of course, when he pivot 2 itself, there's no control of him until it goes down to 35,880. That is MLP. Yeah. So today is a doji formation on the Dow Jones, so which means that it could be a directional day today. So very simple, above OP, it will be a buy, below OP, it will be a sell. That's how it looks for doji, all right? So if you ask me, well, the market is seemingly favoring towards the buy now because KSI is green and it's an uptick, right? So of course, traders will be looking to buy instead, yeah? Looking to buy instead. Nasdaq also displayed the same thing. KSI is in fact a KSI jump, and KSI supporting because of the support. In this is a doji, and of course you have that. You have a little star there as well. So what's happening right here? Same thing again, like what the Dow is having, but this time it's clearer. All right, much more stuff have been offered. But main thing is that in terms of charting wise, we need to use the SOP to draw. Okay, so what is the potential upside for the Nasdaq? Same thing. If the market really takes the MLP seriously, then of course the market may go all the way to 16,223. Okay, so vice versa, if the market do trade downwards below the OP, then of course the nearest level will be 16,016 level. Yeah. Okay, so that is the Nasdaq. Okay, let's look at S&P 500. S&P 500 also display the same thing. Also a BNB. Also, it could be a directional day. So that's why today is going to be a crazy day, I tell you that. Okay, yeah. So either going to see an influx of people going in to buy towards 47.10, or they want to wait until you see 46.3. So what you can do is that if you don't like to wait, right? What you can do is wait for the price to go down all the way to 46.63. Then after that, consider to buy from the bottom. So then you will have no much headache. Okay, so that is S&P 500. We have done the US market. Let's look at Nikkei. Nikkei this morning moved up, and we may be able to see the third one coming in. Now, yesterday, the day before was a BNB, right? So CCRY. So the first one, this one, it went up already. The number here itself is 29,962. So whoever it is, all right, there is a chance of hitting there. Oh, it's updating now. Okay, it's moving up now. Okay, the high is there. So I think the update was not updating fast enough. There's a hangout there. If the high itself now is 29,951. Yeah, 951. So it missed the BNB level by just only about 10 points or lesser. So that means that it is actually happening, yeah, according to what we see. So that's how, not too sure why there's a disruption here. Okay, so that is the Nikkei, and let's look at the DAX. The DAX is likely going to test the BNB 1x1 today. Then that level is 16,187. Yeah, that will be the level for him to buy. Then after that, after a buy ready, go up to BNB, maybe you pull back down again. All right, so let us see how the DAX go. But DAX definitely getting the range getting smaller and smaller. So people who are trading it, it's all right. No need to move with much difficulty already. We sideways for quite a while. Yeah. Okay, so we have DAX done. We have most of the thing done already. Let's look at the commodities market right now. Commodity market for today's day chart for the gold. We don't have much in the market. Okay, it's now trading above MLP, above MA30, above MA200. So all looks set to go. Okay, I repeat, all looks set to go. Oh, that's something wrong. Okay. Yep. Okay. So for gold today, as long gold stay above 1865, gold should be able to go up all the way to 1876. Okay. So 1876 is the first level that gold will be likely to be heading towards. All right. Okay. So that's gold for you. Okay. Okay. All right, so for gold, it's a KSI green uptick some more. So likely gold today may likely be pushed up. I repeat, gold may be pushed up to here itself, and that's 1876. Because KSI is green, it's uptick, and there's no blue bars. Yeah, no blue bar. So seemingly there's a high chance that it could be going into 1876 level. Okay, so we have all the US indices, all indices are done. Okay, now look at the commodities now, also done gold. Let's look at silver. Now for silver, you can see silver is still now hanging around at $25 level. It just touches the MLP. It has to find some strength, but the problem is the KSI already turned red in color and it's an uptick rate. So that means that there should be some selling pressure on this counter right now. Yeah, but silver now is still maintaining above OP. So very simple. As long as silver don't do anything silly, it should be able to stand. It's floating here. But of course, by right, by right itself, right, it should be able to go higher towards maybe $25.60. Yeah, to go there itself. Okay, for silver. But I say the rest of the thing aren't doing that nice. Yeah. Okay, you can see that our indicator is very different. The KCX is red, but there's no blue bar, right? That's why this blue bar thing is something very different and unique. Okay, that's for gold and silver, and then last one will be crude oil. Okay, that's the crude oil. I already tell you my crude oil target, right? But of course, near-term target is what first? Near-term target today, crude oil is already above the period 1, and it's a doji yesterday, so kind of expecting the crude oil price to go to here. All right, this point is at $81.20. Yeah, $81.20. Okay, I believe that this is where crude oil price will be going later today because it's a classic trade and all looks good to go. The only downer is that the KSI all are increasing in size, and even the indicator from a TWB has turned negative. So it's going to be interesting though to watch this crude oil later today. All right, so last two will be the Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is falling. I told you already, right? Ethereum will fall, and it's really happening right now. Yesterday was a doji. Remember, yesterday was a doji day. So today is a directional day. And once the market opened, it failed to stay above MLP. Can you see that? It rejected the MLP, which is a very typical thing. And once it rejected MLP, the market just came all the way down itself. So again, this speaks loads of volume with regards to what I share with you regarding about Ethereum. I already tell you that. And of course, now if we maintain it, right, we may even see a KSI jump on the day chart. And of course, the long blue bar escalated upward because the selling is not that gentle. It's not a gentle selling, it's like a mining selling, right? And of course, now if the Ethereum can be dropped so much, then I cannot deny this, the Bitcoin is even worse. So Bitcoin now is trading at 60,000 already, 60,000. I told you it will go down. I told you the figure that I'm looking at is still at 58,000 to 57,000, 56,000, sorry. I still believe that it will come down to 56,000 for Bitcoin. Yeah, I already tell you that. So I know some people have been trying to pick bottom, but I say no, we haven't come to that point yet. And now today it didn't break MLB, already reversed downwards. Then I think that people who are shorting it already making money. So now my join is this same thing, guys. 58,000. You can try. There's something wrong. Yeah, I'm going to try it out. And if you think that the market will go down lower, the next level is 56,000. Yeah, for the Bitcoin. So again, guys, remember I was very clear to tell you that Bitcoin don't buy, don't chase, because we already seen this type of thing, right? The highest level is a BNB. All right, the highest level is a BNB. So which means that if it's a BNB, we will know that if the market do a 1x1, right, how low will it go, right? So let's do it live right now, guys. Okay, hold on. So if we put a BNB in, you put a BNB into the picture itself, right? BNB in the picture. Okay, you will see this. That means that Bitcoin can travel down some more. Yes, Bitcoin can travel down some more. Down to where? You go down to here. Okay, and this what is the level here? This level is 56,549, which nicely coincides with my case, this chocolate bar at 57,000. Yeah. So I believe that this will happen. Yeah, this will likely be happening, and of course, we will be able to capture this. And from the bottom, we can look for buy. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that will be all for today's MAO. I hope that you guys enjoyed the session. A lot of good sharing today. And today, remember, 4 doji means as long as the OP stays, market stable OP is a buy, below OP is a sell. Be very careful on that. Use the rules, use the technique to enter, buy, sell. Okay. All right, guys. Now today we will have another round of this BNB sharing once again for the Super Tuesday. It will start at 3 p.m. It will start at 3 p.m. Super Tuesday, 3 p.m. Okay, that will be all for today. Hope you like this session once again. This is Cal signing off. Bye bye.